Welcome to the debate. I want you to imagine pouring something like $10,000 into a beautiful, state-of-the-art storefront.
Right, the absolute works.
Yeah, exactly. You stock the shelves with these incredible products, you polish the floors, you finally flip on that neon open sign, and then you step outside only to realize you built this absolute masterpiece in the middle of a barren desert.
Where literally no one is walking by.
Right, nobody. And, in the digital economy, this tragic scenario plays out every single day. Businesses build these incredible products and gorgeous websites, but they face this existential choice, really. How do you get people to actually walk through the front door?
Do you invest your capital and your time into building organic discoverability so people naturally find you? Or do you just, pull out your credit card and purchase targeted traffic?
Exactly. Which brings us to the core tension we are analyzing today. When you're allocating capital and effort for business growth, which strategy actually provides better long-term returns? Is it search engine optimization, building your organic presence? Or is it paid advertising campaigns like pay-per-click and social media ads?
It really is the ultimate strategic fork in the road for any modern enterprise. And it dictates not just marketing budgets, but, the entire financial architecture of a business. In a world where geography is completely irrelevant, attention is basically the only real estate that matters.
It is. And I'll be arguing that SEO is the unequivocally superior long-term investment. It acts as a compounding digital asset. It builds deep trust and sustainable visibility, and it completely bypasses the relentless toll of continuous ad spend.
And I'll be arguing that paid advertising provides unmatched long-term returns. Through extreme precision, immediate speed, and absolute measurable financial control, paid campaigns just create these predictable growth engines. Organic methods simply cannot replicate that kind of scalability today.
All right, well, let me outline exactly why SEO represents one of the highest returns on investment a business can achieve. The fundamental difference between these two strategies is basically the difference between renting attention and owning a digital asset.
Okay, renting versus owning.
Right. When you engage in SEO, so optimizing your site architecture, creating authoritative blog posts, generating backlinks, you are building permanent infrastructure. Just look at the data from the source material. Websites that feature dedicated blog content generate 434% more search engine index pages than those without it.
Wait, 434%? That's massive.
It's massive. Furthermore, businesses that publish more than 16 posts per month, they receive nearly 3.5 times more traffic than those publishing fewer than 4. And the mechanics of why this happens are crucial here.
Because of the crawler bots?
Exactly. Every time you publish high-quality content, you're expanding your digital footprint. Search engine crawler bots are constantly scanning the web for fresh, relevant info. When they see a site consistently producing thorough answers, they increase what's called a crawl budget for that site.
Right, so they index more pages and push them higher up.
Precisely. And what this tells us as strategists is that a single highly optimized article can generate targeted visitors for years. You do the work once, and the asset pays dividends over and over again. It builds this layer of long-term credibility and trust that a paid placement fundamentally lacks.
Look, the idea of doing the work once and getting paid forever is a lovely concept. It really is. But it completely ignores the harsh realities of modern business survival.
How so?
Well, paid advertising, specifically pay-per-click and targeted social ads, is superior precisely because it guarantees speed and exact targeting. In a landscape that's just incredibly saturated, speed isn't a luxury, it's a requirement for survival.
But at what cost?
At a highly controlled cost.
Paid search allows a business to step to the very front of the line immediately. Think about how this actually works. You bid on a keyword, and literally within an hour, your business is sitting at the top of the search results.
Yeah, but you're paying for every single person who looks at it.
You only pay when a user actually clicks, averaging just, $1 to $2 per click in many industries, and those budgets are tightly controlled. SEO takes several agonizing months just to show initial significant results.
Sure, it takes time.
Paid ads give you an immediate market response. You can target specific psychographics, demographics, and geographic profiles right out of the gate. You aren't just hoping the algorithm favors you. You are actively placing your business in front of the exact person who needs you today.
Wait, let me stop you there. When you say paid ads guarantee speed, are we just talking about paying a premium to cut the line on Google?
I mean, essentially, yes. You're buying visibility.
Because I'm struggling to see how that's sustainable if every single competitor in your industry is trying to cut that exact same line. If you're building a business designed to last a decade, waiting 3 to 6 months to establish a permanent SEO foundation seems like a negligible cost compared to endlessly paying a toll just to exist.
It's not negligible if your runway runs out in month 5, though.
Well, obviously,
No, seriously, if you're listening right now and running a small startup, you're probably thinking, I can't wait 6 months for a blog post to rank. I have payroll next week. The critical flaw in the organic strategy is that it assumes a business has the luxury of time.
it assumes a business is planning for the future.
But SEO is incredibly complex under the hood. It requires on-page optimization, specialized content writing, technical audits to remove barriers to indexing. I mean, it's a lengthy laundry list of overlapping adjustments that take substantial time just to move the needle.
I'm not denying it's hard work.
A business needs cash flow to survive and iterate. Paid traffic provides that immediate lifeblood. If you launch a product today, you can have highly qualified traffic analyzing your offer by this afternoon. You can test your messaging, your pricing, and your conversion funnels in real time.
But let's look at the long-term cost of that immediate lifeblood. Let's use an analogy here. Building a house versus renting a luxury hotel room.
Okay, I like a good analogy.
When you invest in SEO, you are pouring a foundation. You're framing the walls. You're building a house. It takes time, sweat, and capital up front. But once it's built, you own it. You live there.
And paid ads?
Paid advertising is renting a luxury hotel room. It feels fantastic. The room service is immediate, the views are great, but the moment you stop handing over your credit card, you are out on the street with absolutely nothing to show for it.
That's a bit dramatic.
The data warns us of exactly this dynamic. The material notes that when the promotional spending supporting an ad campaign stops, the traffic activity subsides immediately. You are utterly dependent on the platform. With SEO, compounding, that article you wrote 3 years ago is still pulling in high-quality leads completely for free.
All right, I'll accept your hotel analogy, but let's extend it to its logical conclusion. What good is owning a beautiful house if 98% of the people who walk through your front door turn around and leave immediately without ever speaking to you? Wait, what? Because that is the stark reality of organic traffic. Look at the numbers in the source material. About 98% of all visitors leave a site without converting on their first visit.
Well, sure, bounce rates are a factor for any channel.
And why does that happen? Because the modern consumer is browsing with 15 tabs open. They have choice paralysis. They get distracted by a text message. Organic traffic has absolutely no built-in mechanism to aggressively rescue that lost 98%.
So your position is that the sheer volume of organic traffic doesn't matter if they don't pull out their credit card on the very first visit? I'm saying that traffic volume over time is utterly useless without conversion efficiency. This is the precise reason paid advertising dominates long-term returns. It actively fixes the fundamental flaw of human distraction through retargeting.
Tracking cookies.
Exactly. When a user leaves your beautifully built SEO house without buying, retargeting ads place a tracking cookie on their browser. As they navigate the rest of the web, reading the news, checking the weather, your paid ads actively pursue them, reminding them to come back and finish their purchase.
Which a lot of people find incredibly annoying, by the way.
Annoying or not, it works. Furthermore, let's look at the mechanics of social advertising, like Facebook. Millions of people spend massive chunks of their day there. Facebook ads leverage something SEO can't touch, which is social context.
Social context? Like seeing a friend's like on a page?
Yes, a Nielsen study clearly shows that people are 68% more likely to remember seeing an ad if it has social context, because it borrows trust. You can actively target the friends of your current fans. SEO cannot manufacture that kind of psychological leverage, or actively pursue a lost lead.
I see why you think that, but let me give you a different perspective.
All right, let's hear it.
You're treating all traffic as equal.
You're basically assuming that the 98% who bounce from an organic search are in the exact same psychological state as the 98% who bounce from a paid ad.
They're both consumers who left a website.
But the underlying psychology is entirely different. People use search engines to find specific, thorough, and accurate answers to their active problems. It's intent-driven. When a user actively searches for a solution and your content appears organically as the authoritative answer, you capture a high-intent user naturally.
If they don't click away first.
But there's a built-in credibility to ranking organically. Appearing at that exact moment of need builds a level of trust that a retargeting ad, which is essentially interruption marketing, popping up while someone is trying to read the news, simply cannot buy.
Interruption marketing is just another way of saying you're staying top of mind. Consumers usually need to be engaged multiple times before they actually commit to a purchase. Retargeting isn't just an annoyance, it's strategic persistence.
But let's look at the systemic, existential risk of relying on that persistence. We are seeing digital platforms become more saturated every single day, which means the cost to acquire a customer through paid channels is continually trending upward.
Well, costs rise everywhere.
But businesses relying entirely on ads face increasing competition and shrinking margins. When you rely solely on paid ads, you are essentially handing over control of your profitability to an auction algorithm. As ad costs rise, your profit shrinks.
Not if you manage it correctly.
With SEO, once you achieve that top spot on the SERP, the search engine results page that everyone stares at, your cost to acquire the next customer drops essentially to zero.
I'm sorry, but I just don't buy that. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
You're portraying SEO as this safe harbor from rising costs. But let's upgrade our metaphors here. SEO isn't just a house. It's a remarkably slow-moving glacier.
A glacier?
Yes. A glacier has massive force, and it literally reshapes the mountain beneath it. But it takes months to move, and it's entirely unpredictable. You can invest thousands of dollars into an SEO agency, optimize your site architecture, write hundreds of articles, and a single algorithm update from a search engine can shift the landscape and wipe out your traffic overnight.
That's a worst-case scenario.
But it happens all the time. You have very little real financial control. Paid advertising, on the other hand, is a faucet. Water flows instantly, and you control the pressure completely.
A faucet that requires constant, ever-increasing cash to keep the water flowing.
Yes, but cash that you can track with absolute mathematical precision. With platforms like Google AdWords, there is literally no spending requirement. You aren't locked into massive agency retainers. True, you can start small.
You can set a daily budget of just $5 or establish a strict maximum cost of 10 cents per click. If you launch a campaign and a keyword yields impressions but no conversions, what do? You turn the faucet off instantly. You iterate. You pivot.
But what if
you spend 2 months paying writers for an SEO article and it fails to rank or convert, you have completely lost that capital and that time. Paid advertising ensures you're not throwing money into a black hole because you have real-time analytics telling you exactly what your ROI is, down to the penny.
I'm not convinced by that line of reasoning because you're minimizing the brutal reality of the bidding wars in paid search. This idea of absolute mathematical control quickly spirals into financial exhaustion in the real world.
How so? If you set a budget, you set a budget.
Let's look at the mechanics of keyword bidding. Popular keywords are vastly more expensive than others because everyone wants that instant traffic. You can expect to pay a massive premium per click on a broad keyword like, say, insurance.
Sure, broad terms are expensive.
Right. Now, a savvy marketer might pivot to a long-tail keyword, something highly specific like affordable renter's insurance in Chicago, which might cost less initially. But in a competitive industry, your competitors are watching the exact same data.
Of course they are.
So those long-tail keywords get bid up too, eventually squeezing your margins just the same.
Which is exactly why you utilize the strategic control to set maximum bids. If insurance is too expensive, the platform allows you to mathematically determine that the customer acquisition cost is too high, and you allocate that capital elsewhere.
But eventually you run out of cheap places to allocate it to.
You don't just blindly bid. You target specific zip codes where you know your conversion rates are higher. You target specific demographics or even specific times of day to ensure your budget stretches further. You optimize the machine.
But my overarching point is that with a mature SEO strategy, you bypass the bidding war entirely. You aren't waking up every morning recalculating your maximum bid to see if you can afford to acquire a single customer today.
You're just hoping the algorithm still likes you.
No, once you build authority, you start generating organic backlinks from other reputable websites. A backlink is essentially a digital vote of confidence from one authoritative domain to another, and search engines heavily reward it.
Sure, backlinks are powerful. Take the example of Wheel Scene from the material. They did a strategic backlink exchange with another automotive site, which led to a 23,245% in views.
Wow.
That's over 23,000%. You don't pay per click for those views. You aren't managing a daily budget for them. They are the compounding interest on a digital asset.
A 23,000% increase is fantastic, and I won't deny the power of a viral backlink. But let's be honest about the mechanics of how you actually get there. SEO and content creation are not free.
Well, no, of course not. To get those backlinks, you either pay a highly specialized agency or you pay in your own internal labor. You have to hire writers, technical SEO experts, and digital PR teams to pitch those link exchanges. You are still spending significant capital. You're just spending it on a glacier that you hope moves in the right direction over the next year, rather than a faucet you can turn on and off based on your revenue targets for next week.
I mean, it really comes down to whether you view marketing as an operating expense or an investment in equity. If a business wants to build enterprise value, if it wants to be worth something substantial in 5 or 10 years, it needs proprietary assets.
Like what?
An engaged organic audience, a robust library of high-ranking content, a domain with massive authority. These are tangible digital assets that have intrinsic value.
And I would argue that a highly optimized, high-converting paid ad funnel is just as much of an asset. Think about it. If you build an algorithmic machine where you confidently put $1 in and get $3 out predictably, that is the ultimate asset for a growing business.
Assuming the ad costs stay exactly the same.
Especially when that machine is paired with sophisticated retargeting to automatically capture the 98% of people who slip through the cracks initially. That is an asset that scales on command.
Well, this has been a rigorous exchange, and I think we've successfully mapped the core strategic tensions here.
Absolutely.
To summarize my philosophy, SEO is the foundational bedrock of digital infrastructure. The mechanics are clear. Consistently creating valuable content expands your crawl budget, resulting in 434% more indexed pages.
Right.
It transforms a website from a static brochure into a compounding asset. Yes, it takes upfront effort, capital, and patience, but it yields years of highly trusted, free organic traffic. Most importantly, it protects a business from the relentless margin compression of constantly rising ad costs and auction algorithms.
And to summarize the opposing strategic view, paid advertising provides the unmatched speed, agility, and precision that modern businesses absolutely require to survive and capture market share. The ability to control exact daily budgets, mathematically optimize for specific keyword conversions, and utilize crucial tools like tracking cookies to aggressively retarget the 98% of users who inevitably bounce, ensures predictable, controllable growth. You aren't waiting months to see if a strategy works. You know by Tuesday.
While we obviously approach the allocation of capital from different foundational philosophies, I think the reality of the modern digital growth stack is that a sophisticated strategist really can't afford to be purely dogmatic.
Oh, I agree entirely on that front. You can't rely exclusively on the faucet or the glacier. The most successful businesses use paid ads as short-term reconnaissance. You use paid traffic for rapid discovery, to test your messaging, and for precise retargeting.
Yeah, getting that immediate feedback.
Exactly. You buy the immediate data you need to survive today and refine your product.
While simultaneously using that expensive paid data to inform your long-term organic strategy. I mean, if you know exactly which keywords are converting via paid ads, you use that to direct your SEO content creation.
Exactly right.
Places your paid traffic, ultimately driving down your blended customer acquisition costs.
Yep. You use the paid machine to fund the construction of the permanent house. The synergy between the two, when properly sequenced, is really where true digital scale happens.
We highly suggest you dive deeper into the source material to explore the nuances of how these two methodologies can be integrated into your specific business model. There is a wealth of tactical data in there on everything from technical indexing barriers to the precise mechanics of social context in advertising.
There really is a lot more to explore there.
The ultimate decision on where to deploy your capital first depends entirely on the unique timeline, risk tolerance, and resources of your business. But remember, whether you choose to build a digital house or rent a digital hotel room, you still have to convince the customer to step inside. Thank you for listening.